Prices are up in the United States for coffee. It's up almost 20%. Utility up 11.7%. And then electricity is up 5.1%. And vehicle repair, if you need your car fixed, it's up 11.5%.
New Yorkers rage against the sight of armored trucks rolling down Canal Street, flanked by armed ICE agents, some of them masked, all of them with bulletproof vests and tactical gear. Swarms of New Yorkers trying to stop immigration sweeps, targeting vendors selling knockoff goods, many of them West Africa.
The reason this shutdown is not going to end until catastrophe happens. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. The reason this shutdown is not going to end until a catastrophe happens is because it's serving the Republicans politically. Yeah, I know the smarter people in society, this whole mess, especially with SNAP, is really turning them against the Republicans. But their core base, this is absolutely cementing their base. They know their people. You have to give Republicans that. They know their people. And they know that this conversation that we're having about SNAP allows their people to punch down, which is what they want. They're human beings, just like every other human being. They have frustrations in their lives. It's how we process those problems and how we deal with them that makes the difference between whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. Now, the Republicans are out there looking at this SNAP stuff, and they're thinking, oh, they're just getting over. They're out buying fudge rounds and Little Debbie's and soda. And this, if people on SNAP were only out buying soda and shit like that, they'd be dead. It's not what's happening. These people are living on less of a food budget than you, and your average MAGA person thinks that they're living a Cadillac lifestyle, eating steaks and crab and shit like that because they saw video of, usually a made-up video of somebody that's, buying a bunch of high-end shit. You have critical thinking skills. You understand that your average person on SNAP isn't living high on the hog. They aren't. But to them, they are. And they have to be, because that gives them the avenue that the Republicans gave them to punch down on someone, which is how they cope with their lives. They're told the Republican mantra always is to their base that they're the good people. They're the hardworking people with the jobs. And them Democrats are out there just trying to take their money and give it to people that don't want to work, that are out there living on crab and steak. And it's bullshit. But their base eats it up because it cements that narrative that they're the good people. And it's bullshit. They're not. They're not even good Christians. But they want that. And that's why this argument serves Republicans. And they won't stop until something horrible happens to bring it to an end. A plane crash or something like that.
I've never been in the business of predicting the future. I'm a historian. I like to tell you about stuff that happened in the past and maybe bring it up to the present. But it's becoming so clear to me where we're at in the narrative of the rise of an authoritarian American empire that I just feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Y'all, the government shutdown is the coup. It is the coup. I felt so crazy that I had to reach out to a history friend of mine. This is a U.S. history expert, someone whose opinion I very greatly trust. This is someone whose political leanings are actually quite different from mine. And so I always want to reach out to them to see am I crazy? Am I just way off in the deep end? And this person was like, oh no, that seems like a really good take. Y'all, Trump has no intention of reopening the government. And at some point, I guess Congress will vote to reopen the government, but Trump has nothing to gain from having Congress back in session. Right now, he's a dictator. He can do whatever he wants. Federal spending is shut down. He's kind of closed off the government. He can sort of do whatever he wants without oversight. He's been doing that anyway, but this is ideal for him. Our conversation continued, right? And this person was pointing out that with the cutting of SNAP benefits and the Great Gatsby Halloween party, and even the longer and longer that TSA gets shut down, I'm seeing constant TikToks of just the 4.5 hour lines for TSA at Houston's airport, that sort of thing. he wants us to revolt. He wants us to respond in a way that will justify him invoking the Insurrection Act, which will be like the final nail in the coffin, so to speak. I was debating whether or not to post this. I was like, is this too like tinfoil conspiracy hat for my channel? I don't know. But then this popped up on my For You page. Representative Adam Smith saying, like, the government is not shut down. The government is dissolved. He's like, this is different. This is not a normal government shutdown. This is weird that it's shut down in this way and that there's really like no serious attempts to reopen it. Like, the shutdown is the coup. So what do we do? I mean, number one, keep calling your Congress people. Like, I don't care. I don't care who your congressperson is. Mine's like Ted Cruz, for the love of God, right? Keep calling them. Keep flooding their offices, their emails, their phones, whatever, with like pleas to reopen the government and also to like reinstitute funding for a lot of these programs. But also, as you're protesting, as you're out and like doing your job in the community to like support your neighbors, that sort of thing, remain nonviolent, remain peaceful. Remember, like, we're basically being baited. He is basically sitting back and just waiting for someone to react in a way that's going to give him the justification that he thinks he needs to kind of like keep his legitimacy in his circle and with the people he admires around the world, but still like using the military fully to suppress a rebellion within the country. So like, continue supporting your community, reach out to your Congress people, don't stop making noise, commit to nonviolent resistance.
Another weird week. Red, white, and a heck of a lot of blue addition. All the president's fears came to pass as Democrat mayors, female governors, and bulwarks against his gerrymandering. Even the World Series winner was the LA Dodgers, a team whose name combines his least favorite city with a nod to his military record. Americans spoke at the polls while the president and his cronies tried to pull a Shaggy and get us to believe it wasn't them. They prefer we forget about that lavish party they had while letting Americans go hungry. And from a metaphor fans, that party was Great Gatsby and Roaring Twenties themed, and we all know how both of those ended. As Pervert Hoover's lawyers went after businesses trying to help out SNAP recipients, he played golf, remodeled bathrooms, and expressed empathy. About Prince Andrew, you know what he didn't do? Negotiate. A man who presided over the two longest government shutdowns in history, has all the filter of a cigarette in the 70s, wants you to believe he has an amazing healthcare plan that he's just being coy about. He promised to end 2 wars and instead pretended to end other ones, while hundreds are being killed in Gaza in one of the least effective ceasefires in history. Let's face it, Dick Cheney dying during his presidency is probably the closest he ever gets to actually ending a war. Meanwhile, he's trying to start a war with Venezuela while also ironically turning our country into Venezuela. We learned airports have looming travel disruptions, the GOP has a white nationalist problem, and 60 Minutes no longer asks follow-ups. ICE-rated daycares, listeria outbreaks is now how we inspect for listeria, and if you're having trouble paying your grocery bill, he thinks you should focus on how your stock portfolio's doing. Would you invest in NVIDIA? In an administration experiencing death by 1,000 job cuts, we learned the economy is now K-shaped. And if you put 3 of those economies side by side, that's called a young Republican group chat. An administration that claims to be pulling in trillions of extra dollars can't seem to find money to make sure kids can eat. Courts are rejecting him, the voters are rejecting him, and you don't tear down the First Lady's wing of the White House if things are going well with the wife. Sure, things are still weird, but this is a people's America. Red, white, and blue. Right now, the red is the embarrassment on our faces watching him speak. The white is the refugees he allows in and the type of color crime he likes to pardon. But the colors of the voters he angered are blue, just like the wave of the elections he's inspiring. Have a good weekend. Stay ornery.
Big enough. Take it, yeah, baby, take it, yeah,